Hello, everybody. We
Hello.
are live, I believe. Trying to be a little festive tonight.
Welcome, welcome.
All right. I think I'm good. You're frozen, which generally means I'm off,
Can you hear me
but I still hear
still?
you. Yeah, I
I
still hear you.
guess
So,
let me stop camera and start. Okay, so still not working. Well,
all right. While you're working on that, I'll just say hello to everybody. Welcome everyone in the chat. We've already got quite a few in the chat, but it is that time of year. Everybody's excited about Christmas and the Fish Fam Christmas that's going on right now. McNugget. Hashtag McNugget. Tanner's in the dark. Yeah, he's on it. It was what's funny is it was working right before I hit the video, so I did it. Yeah. So everyone in the chat, thanks for being here, and everyone on the replay who's watching this after the fact, you all rock. Thank you. You rock when you're in the chat too. I'm making this little table bounce all over the place. I gotta quit touching it. But yeah, you all rock. Thank you. Just really from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for joining us.
yes, glad to have everyone here tonight. I'm still trying to figure out why my camera's froze. I'm unplugging it. I don't know what it is.
Plugging it and
Let's see.
unplugging it.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
back.
there you are. Don't touch it. Back away. Back away. I like the
Mitch and
lights
I,
on the bookshelf.
thank you. Yeah, we didn't know when we got them that they were like twinkling. But
Oh, that worked.
after a day of having them, we were like, you know what? I kind of like them. So
Yeah.
they they have stayed, and we've got some other lights around the apartment that aren't visible,
Yeah.
but trying to get a little festive. We got our welcome mat has some elves on it, so
Yeah.
excited for Christmas.
I held them off until after Thanksgiving on the decorating, but it happened. It's all here now. Select good. That's good to hear. I'll have to check that out. I did not make the ETAA Christmas party, so I'm looking forward to seeing the video. Let's go through and welcome those in the chat. Specifically, Select Pet John, thank you for being here. Lady Rorschach, thank you for joining us. And I'm glad you're looking forward to the live stream. We always do too.
Yeah,
We
it's
have Jennifer
always.
Weaver. Go ahead.
I was just saying the live stream is always a nice little like Tuesday night thing I can look forward to.
Yeah.
I'm a routine person, so having like something like this every Tuesday, I'm like, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. It is nice.
Looks like we've
TJ
got
Autocross.
the Zen Ginger. Welcome, our wonderful mod. Thank you for everything she
And I
does.
actually handed out some more wrenches today. So some of you may find that you have one. I'm still working on that. I don't know if that's all right just to assign it to you, but you can definitely email Tanner and tell him to take it down.
I have no power over this. I'm just a face and a voice.
You're just the face. That's true. That's very true.
I'm a face. I'm half of the duo, but all the power resides with Mitch. So
Which is
email
not a
him.
good thing. It's not a good thing. It goes to my head. The Zen Ginger is here. We already said that. You thanked her for being a mod.
Yes.
The Freeze Aquariums, aka Rob, in the house.
Welcome.
Coro Works. Sorry, I'm just reading through them. I'm not allowing you to respond.
We got Shane as well. We got the Bipolar Fish Keeper. Welcome, welcome. Too Cooley for Schooly. I love that name.
I love it.
That's a good one. Night Owl Aquatics. Let's see. New Local Austin. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I don't want to miss Red Laser. I think we said it, but I don't want to miss him.
Yeah, welcome, Red Laser. Thanks for joining us as always. And then I think the next I'm seeing is Patty's Petite Tanks.
Me too.
I'm not sure what the hashtag McNugget is.
I say it came from another stream.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Someone
And
sent them over, so thank you. We'll find out who it is
yeah,
as we get to the
thank
chat,
you.
I'm sure.
Yeah, the I guess the McNugget's an inside joke we're not in on. But Nancy B in Tennessee, thanks for joining us. Coro Works, I think we may have mentioned you, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We've got Eduardo, thanks for joining again.
Master
Let's
Aquatics.
see. Let's see here.
Ooh,
Regina
scrolling.
Phalanges, thanks for joining.
Pivot. And
Let's see. Ray Aquatics, welcome, welcome.
what's up, Ray?
Joseph
The chat just
Stanley.
jumped on me.
It jumped for me as well. If we miss you, I'm sorry, but thank you for joining. We're trying to hit everybody, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
We got JT. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining.
I see Joseph Stanley. What's up, JT?
Mystery Snell Guardians and Scotty the Fish Freak. I made it down to the bottom of the chat.
All
just
right.
skimming through. So welcome.
Yeah.
If we missed you, we're sorry, but thanks for joining us on our, I guess, last live stream before Christmas.
Last live stream before Christmas.
Second to last live stream of 2022. So that's kind of
we do
exciting.
plan on doing one more this year.
Yes. Scotty Aquati, another good name. Skipper's Aquariums. I love seeing everyone's different takes and puns with aquarium related names. It really, puns get me and just little wordplay. I think it's funny, but thanks for joining. We got, let's see, Geek Boy. Welcome, welcome.
What's up, Geek Boy? Geek Boy helped me out this week over in the Fish Fam Fish Cord, talking about some equipment. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. All right. Well, we made it to the bottom, so we're not behind. We're starting off caught up. We will very quickly get behind, I'm sure. I just keep hitting this table. This might have been a bad idea. Oh, I was gonna show everyone, adding to the stream. I have. Let's do this. That's a little better, right? I have fry. Now, these are the fry. I talked about these. There are at least 4 swordtails in there. They're the orangest red.
Yeah.
And let me put them up solo. You see some?
Oh,
there's
I
one
can
in the
see
middle
some
right
of them
now.
in there. Yeah. One in the middle and one to the left, back left, kind of hiding in that moss. Awesome.
That's what it's there for. There's at least 4 of those swordtails in there, and the rest of them ended up being mollies. I'm still seeing mollies. I just collected every fry that I saw, and I was like, man, the color, these are just looking like mollies, and they are. They're mostly mollies. So they're all in here. I'm keeping them fed. Love watching these swordtail grow. Their eyes are so big. They look just a little bit different from the mollies from the very beginning. It's fun.
Yeah, it's really cool seeing how the different live bears grow up. You know, guppies, mollies, platies, they all look similar, but they've got little slight differences when they're fried. It's pretty cool. But it's really cool to see that those have already got some like orange reddish color to them right off the bat.
Dude, they were that color the day I collected them.
Wow.
They've been that color.
Very
and
cool.
And they'll probably swim by. They frequent this part of the tank, but the male and both males and the females are very brightly colored. So I think these are going to be bright fish. I was hoping some of the others were the pineapple swordtails, but I don't believe any of them in this box are. However, I found some in the chain swords this weekend while doing water changes. So I do have some in there that I probably ought to catch, but they seem to be doing pretty good. Everybody was chomping around on food while I was watching. It was right before I did the water change, and they seem to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think with this heavily, planted and the size of your 75, you'll have some that'll get, eaten up, but you should have a good bit, make it just keeping them in the tank free swimming.
I never had trouble with the mollies, that's for sure.
Those little mollies are voracious.
The last time I got rid of them, I got rid of 40, and these are all like cell size. The time before that, I got rid of 80, and the time before that, I got rid of like 40. So, and that's been all in like the last year.
Yeah, I remember that. And John says I had a breeder box like that I had trouble with fish jumping into it. And
that's interesting.
I have a on the breeder box.
Well, is that for John? Because you didn't have them jumping in. John did.
Well, I was going to say I've also had the same experience.
Oh,
I put a breeder box with my guppy in the guppy tank, and the next day, or I put it in the evening. The next evening, I checked on it; it was full of guppies. I was like, "You aren't supposed to be in there."
You see that male back there, the bright orange?
Yeah.
Just dropped down below the camera. I brought it back up because Regina, Lady Rorschach just got back and was asking what kind of babies. The brightly colored ones are swordtails, and the black and blah looking ones are probably mollies. Not probably, they are. So TJ's asking, what is your breeder box of choice? Just ordered the Fluval due to the yeah, I like that one. I like the thought of that one. I have had the one that I have since I got in the hobby, and it's just, it used to have a lid, but I lost the lid a long time ago. I keep planning on getting another one, and I just haven't done it yet. A friend of mine pointed out that Fluval and said to check it out. I keep a lid on my aquarium, so I'd have to put it in the back if I did that. So that's been the one thing that stopped me from buying it. I would probably do some. I've considered the mesh, but I've heard that cories can sometimes get stuck in the mesh. And let's face it, most of the time I'm going to be raising up cories. So
the mesh ones I have had, I don't like them. They the mesh is really fine and they kind of clog up and just get nasty. I also have some. I have some that are like yours, and I like them, but they're kind of hard to fool with, in my opinion. Just setting them up. The ones that I really want to do are the Dean, that does Dean's Fish Room or whatever. He does a lot of videos with Aquarium Co-op. The breeder rack that he has set up with the airlines coming down into it. That's what I really want to do.
That's just like deli meat things, right? No, they're refrigerator. What he bought, they are the trays that go in refrigerators. And
right.
He bought the size that fits in the aquarium.
They're just kind of long, like plastic tote style.
Yeah.
That I really like. Checking back on the chat.
I see JT is enjoying some Blue Dream shrimp that he got from Rob at the Naughty Santa drawing that was had. And
that's awesome.
That is awesome. I wanted some of Rob's Blue Dream shrimp at our swap and did not get any. I should have, but I didn't.
I've got some of Rob's Blue Dreams from the spring swap that are no longer pure Blue Dreams, but they're still. It was that picture I sent you the other night that was like.
I was going to say, was it the ones you just showed me?
Those I actually got from a local guy in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
So to add on to JT's comment, I got some Blue Dream shrimp this weekend, and I love them. Just really cool, pretty little shrimp.
Select Pet, John, I will say that when I had cories in this breeder box, I had an issue where I had the airstone roaring too much. Not the airstone in the breeder box, but the airstone outside. And so at some point, it got low enough the water was coming over, and I did end up with a bunch of guppies in. And I think that's also what happened when it got knocked out, and then all of my Corey Fry ended up in the bottom of the tank. They're still there. I saw a few of them today. Lady Rorschach, I really need to try some mollies in a future tank. Maybe have a tank with mollies and a species of goodeids. Corys always have to be present too. Yes, always Corys. That is a saying. That's got to go on a shirt. I got to figure out a shirt for that. I've been drawing Corys because I'm trying to finish the Scruffy City Aquatics logo, which I want to put a fish, and I'm leaning towards Corys, Corridoras. And so, yeah, maybe I'll use some of my images, my drawings that I don't use for that. Maybe I'll use that on a shirt. But yes, always Corys. However, I'll say I'm ready to be out of mollies because mollies are a lot of trouble unless you're going to do a brackish tank. And it could just be my water. I have extremely hard water, which should be good for live bears, but I have had trouble with mollies. And I will say this, I have trouble with mollies when my population gets too big. And that's what it is. Like, it took me a few years to realize it. Whenever the population is too large, I start seeing a lot of issues with my mollies. And, I get rid of a few and it, clears right back up. I go months and months and months without any issues again. So, yeah, I would do another live bear. That's just me, though. Hey, I love mollies. Like, they're awesome. Black mollies are very cool. That really deep black color. And then, there's some out there that are just gorgeous and they get large. But if I were doing them again, it would be a brackish tank. And as a matter of fact, when I take them to the local store, they always put them in a brackish tank.
Yeah, they're cool. The store I used to work at sold mollies for basically your, starter fish for a saltwater tank. Because they were cheap, easy to acclimate to saltwater. Super. I mean, mollies are just so hardy. But I agree with you. I saw that. That's a beautiful one. I'm kind of the same. If anything, I want to get some goodeids.
Yeah.
As the next live bear. I've done the mollies, or I've got some swordtails right now. I did mollies in the past. I've done platies. I really want some goodeids because they're just a cool fish.
Yeah, this week I was talking with Tanner about last week I started, or the last couple of weeks started an obsession with the orange Venezuelan corridoras.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, if we were to go in together and buy $100 worth.
Yeah, I
don't have a tank.
I think in the future, once I get some tank space, we should probably do that because they are very cool. And that's the thing that Mitch and I love our Corys. That's probably I'd be willing to say they're probably both of our favorite type of fish. They're just
for sure
really nice. Looks like people were talking about the cat in the chat here. She's sitting in my lap. I don't know if she's going to be mad at me, but she's grumpy, trying to sleep.
Let me put you in solo. There you are.
She's just a big baby, see?
Fun times.
Whenever we stream, she's like, I gotta get in his lap. I need the attention. He's paying attention to something else.
Yeah. Toward the end of the stream, usually our puppy ends up back in the room, and he causes all kinds of chaos, wanting attention. Silver Creek Aquatics, I see you there, SCA. Welcome. Glad to see you.
Welcome.
Geek Boy says the Zis ones are really high quality too, but I don't like giving up space inside the tank. Yeah, my and I guess they get it through the co-op program, but one of my local stores has those. Those are like $30-something, right? I think that Fluval's like 15. And circulates water with an air stone. You got to add an air stone. It doesn't do it on its own. You add the air stone, it pulls the water up. I don't think it has the air stone with it. At least everything I looked at did not list an air stone in the box. This one is nice, and I have looked at them, but again, it's the mesh, and I hear Corys get stuck in them.
I've not been a big fan of the mesh. I've tried multiple, and the mesh is so fine that they get clogged, stuff gets stuck in the cracks between, the mesh and the frame. Like I put a bunch of Cory eggs in there, and I tried running an air stone underneath to where it would come up and hit the mesh and go through, but instead it formed it would form big bubbles and then just roll off to the sides. And I was like, I wasn't able to get much circulation through it. I pointed power heads, kind of towards it, but it just, and it could have been user error, but I will say I don't like it.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I've looked at them, especially some of the cheap ones that I've seen on Amazon, and thought, well, I could try it. But I haven't. I saw Daniel Velez is here, and Stephen P. And
Kane is here as well. Welcome, Kane.
What's up, Kane? Keeper Kane recently did his first live stream. I was busy. Like, I found out about it, like, I don't know, maybe a few hours before he did it. And I was not able to get away to watch it. And I haven't seen the replay yet. I will. I absolutely will. I am so behind on so many of the channels that I am subscribed to.
I haven't been able to watch anything recently. Coro Works ask, is a 20-gallon breeder the same as a 20 long? From my understanding, no. A 20 breeder would be wider than it is tall, similar to a 40 breeder. A 20 long, let's see, I'll look up the dimensions real quick.
So there's a 20 tall, a 20 long, and a 20 breeder.
I haven't heard of a 20 breeder, but it's a 20 long is 30 inches long, 13 inches wide.
It was kind of a question. I was trying to figure it out. I was like, I thought there were only two 20s, but I don't buy a lot of tanks. Kane could answer that, I'm sure.
I'm not seeing dimensions on a 20 breeder, but I know with a 40, a typical 40 and a 40 breeder, the 40 breeder is wider and shorter, similar with a 60 and a 60 breeder.
Okay. Yeah. So I saw, where was it? Where'd it go? Lady Rorschach. Yes. Silver Creek Aquatics. Mollies all day. You need to check out his mollies. You already have. You said that. But we all need to sit down and get some tips from him, because he's rocking the mollies and enjoying it. So I need to find out what I was doing wrong. And I'm sure he could fill us in on that. That should be a live stream one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
John says, oh, go ahead.
I was just saying that would be awesome.
John says, as soon as we get the swap figured out, let me know to send you. Oh, okay. They're doing some dealing. All right. We won't jump into that. The swap will be announced hopefully before too much longer.
Coro says again, this is a Craigslist listing, so who knows that the seller is calling it that. If it's a secondhand, a used tank that I'm buying, I don't pay attention to what they call it. I'm just like, can you give me the dimensions? Because there's so many. I mean, the dimensions will tell you what it is. I've messed up before. I bought tanks and I was like, oh, this style tank will fit perfect where I want it to. Yeah. Went to go buy it, wasn't the right size. Wasn't, what was advertised. So it's a little bit of fun. But do we want to?
Geek Boy's saying that he keeps. I guess you're talking about that flu ball. Keeps that what am I looking for? Breeder box. I think it's a breeder box still. It's the fancy one with the circulation. Keeps it in the front and just leaves the lid cracked. And yeah, that's possible. I do have kids that go through that area, and I could see that being an accident. Zen Ginger says flu balls go-to breeder box too. Love the circulation. Small temp fluctuations since I keep my house at 68, but as long as the flow isn't too slow, it works well. That makes sense.
I might have to try the Fluval.
They're not that expensive on Amazon. I've almost bought one several times. I just use one of the old ones that has the cut slits on the bottom and has the area on the sides that holds air so it doesn't fall over. But as soon as the air gets out, it's a problem.
I've got some of the.
I like to make it challenging.
That's I've got some similar models as you. Looks like we've got Paul Saltero in the chat. Welcome. Well, we're about 25 minutes in. Do we want to move into the topic for the night?
Select Pet says the Scruffy City logo needs to be a Molly too. They show up everywhere. I mean, they're all in my tank. I will never get rid of them. And it doesn't help that I have 2 large females that are like pets. I mean, they are my kids' favorites. So they are here. And until they quit producing fry, I'm going to be producing fry for a while. But I have gotten rid of all the males a couple of months ago. Oh, man, I'm real behind. People are talking about your cat where I'm at. I want to know what kind of good he had. He might know a guy.
Yes, I know John's got some. I really want the trout Goodeids. I know we've talked about how you got rid of your colony of those guys, but we'll talk offline about what you got, because I would like to have some tank space for those at some point. We've also Vibes Aquatics has joined. Welcome, and Jimmy P's Aquariums saying Merry Christmas, Mitch and Tanner. Merry Christmas, Jimmy P, and everybody in the chat. I can't tell. Mitch is frozen. Did we miss him? Or lose him? I mean, I guess we lost Mitch, but he should be back briefly. It's never a Scruffy City Aquatics live stream without some technical difficulties. We've also got Chris's Aqua Zone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Looks like Kane's doing feeding day. I'm assuming you're feeding all of your snakes and reptiles. Good luck with that. I'm gonna have to catch your live stream at some point. Like Mitch, I've been busy and I've not been able to watch anything from really anyone, and I've got a backlog to get to. Anyfin Goes says they have 520 longs. It's tough for plant growth on some things, but it's what they have room for. I haven't had a 20 long before. The tanks that I really have are 40 breeders, 10 gallons, and then a 55. And Mitch is back.
Yeah, I'm back. I've got to add the presentation slides back, but I am back. Sorry about that, everyone. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and put it on the screen. That's not what I planned on doing, but okay. I was reading Mugshot Mitch. Hey, Jimmy B. We've got Chris's Aqua Zone, and I saw, where is it? I see Brian, Anyfin Goes. Quite a few people. You may have already done this. I was looking through it when I lost.
Yeah, I believe I caught everyone, but if I did not, I apologize.
Yeah, good to know. If you ever do get dumped, you lose what's in the chat in StreamYard. Yeah. For a little while back anyway. So, okay.
Hey.
Lots of conversation going on. We do want to jump on our topic for a few moments. And I know that Tanner's put a lot into the notes. I did not contribute much. I think I put the date at the beginning of them. But it's a great topic. It's something that I've been learning from him recently, where I know I shared it on a live stream, but I came across the Buse at a PetSmart that was like melted, and I was able to save about 4 pieces, and they're growing. And we thought it would be fun to kind of talk about growing immersed plants tonight. And that's what we have. But before we do that, I've got something I want to share. Should have already done this. I want to thank, and I think
Yeah.
Shelby's still on over on Rico's stream. But I wanted to thank the Garden of Eater. They had their 4,000 subscriber stream not long ago, and I was one of the winners of a giveaway, and I received some blue diamond shrimp, and I can't quit talking about them. I've got to show them off. They are just gorgeous. A couple of pictures here on the top. That one on the left is probably the best I could show, but it still doesn't do that shrimp justice. They're so they're very dark, but the color that's there just it just pops in all that green. Oh, they just finished up. Okay, thanks, Geek Boy. Yeah, rescued abuse from abuse. That is true. Yeah, I walked up and I was like, "Hey, y'all have killed this. Can I take it home with me?" And they're like, "Oh, I'll throw that away for you." I was like, "No, that's not what I said."
It's like, no, I see some life in there. Let me get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I,
Yeah,
I
those are
wanted
some
to
beautiful
show those
shrimp,
off.
though.
Yeah, they are. I wanted to show them off, and I wanted to say thank you to Grant and Shelby. They also sent me a little bit of food. I did an unboxing video that I will get out as soon as possible because I'm very thankful for what they did.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Those are the blue diamonds.
Blue diamonds.
Correct.
Yep.
They're like a darker blue dream variant. I was looking up the lineage. I've started looking at kind of the lineages of shrimp and where how they proceed. And I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a cool. Their kind of genetic history is pretty interesting. That whole web of how you get the different shrimp variants. The one thing that I've seen from the Garden of Eden that I really would like to pick up sometime in the future is those green emerald. I might be
I
those
see
green
you sent
shrimp that
a picture
you
of
send
theirs,
me.
right? Yeah,
Gorgeous. I love the green shrimp.
absolutely. So I've seen green shrimp, and I was like, that's kind of cool. But I keep planting tanks, so would I really notice them? And then Grant started showing pictures of I think they call them emeralds. We could be wrong, but I think they call them emeralds. And that is a gorgeous shrimp. I mean, it's just blows my mind how good it looks because I've never seen shrimp like that. Like I've seen just your run of the. I mean, I don't want to degrade them because they're what I've always known, but I've just always seen your regular shrimp, and so these are next level for me.
Yeah, I will say huge shout out to them. I met them at Aquaticon I guess earlier this year. No affiliation with them or any way, but they have some high quality shrimp plants and they're very good people. So if you're in the market for some shrimp, that's a source I would look for.
Yeah. Coral Works says that they have both green jade and green emerald, and green really too. So I think the one that I sent you was the emerald. What Geek said? What did Geek said? Get a tank full of red plants for your green shrimp.
That's what I was thinking.
I think I said that because it would be one of the 20 longs that I want to do. Gabriel's Glass Box says, we are considering the blue diamonds from TGO. Do you have any other insight to offer? Here, let me pull this back up. They're gorgeous. They've done great. The packaging and all this is in the unboxing, which will be out soon. They did great on the travel. They sent me a baker's dozen, and all 13 survived. So I have 13. Otherwise, they're just like all the other Neos that I've ever kept. They're doing great in the tank. I didn't specifically try to feed them the first couple of days because that tank's been running a while, and I knew I could just sit and watch them eat forever. But they're doing great. I don't have any other insight other than they're awesome, and I would buy them. If I ever needed more, I would buy them. I don't think I will. I think I've got a colony started. Select Pet wants to know if we are planning on going to the Keystone Clash or the ALA convention in 2023. It will be a blast. No plans at the moment.
No solid plans, but I would like to go to the Keystone Clash. I've seen where Scotty's been posting tons of the speakers, and it looks like it's going to be incredible. So I hope to make it. And it looks like
it
I
would be
missed
great.
it. I missed it earlier, but it looks like I'm going to try and scroll up. Regina Flange says, your cat is so cute and personable. Is she a tortoiseshell or a blue/cream? She's a cat. I have no clue. This is my girlfriend's cat, and when she moved in with me, luckily she came along. She is personal and she's sweet, but I don't know. She's a cat.
Yeah.
I don't know what type she is. Oh, it looks like Shelby has joined.
Yeah, Shelby. Thank
Right
you all
in
for the shrimp.
time.
I was just bragging on them.
Yeah, we were. Incredible shrimp. They're doing great for Mitch. We were talking about those greens that I'm going to have to pick up some of those soon because they are gorgeous.
We have so many people here. Keeping Aquatics is here. Mississippi Hippies here. Kelly Foreman is here talking about, I like this. Get a tank full of green plants for your red shrimp. I have that. Don't get a tank full of blue plants for your orange shrimp, though. They are hard to grow. Okay. No blue plants. And Coral Works says they don't have green reelies for sale yet because they're hard to get. They don't throw reelies all that often. And I can see that.
The reelies are kind of a weird line of shrimp.
Yeah, Vibe says, awesome stream, Shelby. I did watch some of it while I was setting up, and I was listening in, and it was great. I look forward to catching the rest of it on the replay. I enjoy it when Rico does those, and I've actually talked to him I sent him the email about being on sometime because I'd love to sit down and be in the chair. But great job. I enjoyed it.
Mississippi
and I did get the
cheese
knees food is what I have. All right, we're caught up. We did it.
We are caught up.
I'm sorry if we missed something. We love you. Thank you, but we missed it.
Yes, thank you. This is definitely one of our busier streams, so thank you everyone for joining. Appreciate it. Love everybody conversing in the chat, asking questions. If we missed something, we're sorry, but we would get to it if we could. We're not the fastest readers of the chat.
we're still learning. But
yes,
like you said, it is a busy night. My finger's over here. I don't know why I do this over here because it's over here. You were speaking about it being busy, and I think I know why. That's because it is Fish Fam Christmas time. So I wanted to share this with you. Now, at some point between, I guess this is our first stream since it started because it started on the 18th. Between now and I believe it's the 1st, sometime in between there, we will have a live stream, maybe a scheduled live stream, maybe a pop-up, where we will be giving away a full weekend. Well, we're not giving it away. We're just hosting. We're facilitating. The Fish Fam Christmas committee has put this together, and people have donated it. But we have a full weekend pass to the Keystone Clash for 2023, retail value of $100. You will get access to the vendor room, access to speakers, access to view the fish show, access to view aquascaping competition, access to hospitality room, a goodie bag, and a shirt. And you can go to keystoneclash.com if you want to learn more about the Keystone Clash. But at some point, we will be giving that away in a stream at some time that we're not allowed to say. So, could be a pop-up. I think that I kind of hope we do it in a pop-up. I almost did a pop-up yesterday just to mess with people. And I thought, I don't know everybody well enough for that to go over well. So giveaway number 2, also donated by the Keystone Clash, is retail $50. It's a sticker, a towel, a shirt, a hat, and shipping availability is U.S. only. And you can go to bcasonline.com for that. So I wanted to make sure that you knew, just in case you missed some of the announcements, they're out there. There's a lot of streams going on right now. I think there were 49 streams signed up. to give things away. And then I think people are missing this afterwards. I'm going to bring us back up. Afterwards, if there's any prizes left over, because there's some stuff that they're going to use in case they need to substitute and pay for things and all that. That's all out there. If there's anything left over, there's going to be additional giveaways. So that's awesome. Select Pet says, whoever wins the Keystone package may even get a chance to meet Tanner.
I'm thinking we should make that its own giveaway, maybe.
Yes, we should.
No,
that's going to lock you into going.
Yeah. 2 tickets to meet me is the new giveaway. Scratch what Mitch just said.
Hashtag Mitch Nugget. I don't like nuggets. Could be a Tinder.
I had some nuggets for lunch today.
That's not true. I like Chick-fil-A's nuggets. I'm not going to lie. But that's just cut up pieces of chicken breast. I'm scrolling through again. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Tanner's got some information he wants to share with you, and I'm here for the ride. No, that's not true. I'm going to participate too. But Tanner, you want to go ahead and kick us off with this conversation about immersed grown aquarium plants?
Yeah, so this has kind of become my new little addition to the hobby, which I have come to really like. I recently set up a whole new little rack for my aquarium related stuff. I'm adding a couple tanks to it, but the main aspect of that rack is immersed grown aquarium bins / totes / little containers. And I found that that's one of just a great way to grow plants quickly. Also to contain, keep up with all your trimmings. If you have a lot of tanks with a lot of plants and you hate throwing away trimmings, and you also hate having to, I don't want to say hate, if you dislike throwing them away, and if you dislike having to work with meeting people to get rid of them, immersed grown bins are one of your best bets because you can throw them in there. They grow, very little maintenance. Maybe once a month after you set them up. I look at them daily when I'm home just because I like to look at them. But there's just a lot of pros to it. I mean, I've thrown plants in here that are struggling with algae that really take off because that algae just dies off when it's not submerged anymore. So that's a great way. And also, a vast majority of plants that we keep in our aquariums can be grown immersed and actually typically grow immersed. Quite a few of the aquarium plants, minus your Vallisnerias and a couple other types, typically grow in the riparian zones of, rivers, streams, lakes, whatever it be, where they get submerged in the rainy season, and in the dry season, they are out of the water. So they kind of grow in both conditions. And one of the biggest pros about growing some aquarium plants immersed is that they have full access to CO2. Because that's typically, as Mitch and I have talked on some of our previous live streams, CO2 is typically the limiting factor in your planet aquarium. Now, if you're running a high-tech aquarium, that changes things. Normally it's lighting, ferts, or something else besides CO2. But when you grow plants immersed, you don't have to worry about CO2. And also, you can use cheaper lighting to grow them because light penetrates easier through air than water. There's less resistance for the light to get down there. So I use like budget lights or shop lights pretty much for these bins.
Let me share this. New Local Austin asked, do you have a vid or on how to does this bin work? Soil or just shallow water? We are going to get into that some, but it would be a great video. I will say I do not have a video because I'm still fumbling around with it. But Tanner probably can fill you in a little bit better than I use soil.
So I still have not gotten around to putting out my first video. Unfortunately, I've been busy, but that is, if you were on last week's live stream, one of my Christmas goals is to put out my first video. And with that, I will do a video on immersed grown tubs and plants. I will say, if you want something in the time being, to satisfy, to get that information, Aquarium Plant Lab. That's where I've gotten a vast majority of my information from. He does an incredible job. But little quick summary, so you say soil or just shallow water. The way that I have set these up is you take a plastic tote, a bin, you can use an extra aquarium. That's what I've got totes, bins, and aquariums set up as this. Right now, I'm moving. Calm down.
Hey, I've got the first picture that I have is that comparison of before and after. You want me to bring that up?
Yeah. So this before and after is 2 weeks of growth. And I mean, that's counting the transition period. But the way I set these up is I use organic potting soil, Miracle Grow, whatever. I put a couple inches in the bottom of the tote and then take some extra aquarium water, just fill it up basically to where the water is at the height of the soil. That's all there is to it. Then I take and I basically break up all the stems. Say it's a stem plant, I'll break it up into 1 to 3 inch pieces just to make it last further, and it also just grows easier. When you break it into small pieces, I found it converts faster. Put a lid on that tote. Before you put the lid on, spray down the sides and the top of the lid with water to really trap that humidity in, because you want the humidity to be as high as possible, because that helps shorten the conversion process. From once you take these plants and put them back in your aquarium, the higher humidity, the quicker the conversion process from immersed to submerged. And also that process kind of differs plant to plant. Stuff like Bacopa, you'll notice the leaf structure does not change much from emerged to submerged. Something like Rotala rotundifolia, your Rotala atros, it gets big wide leaves immersed, but when it's in the water grown submerged, it has really fine leaves. And that all has to do with the structure of the leaves. When water's involved, when they're submerged, they don't have to hold up their weight as much. They weigh less, so they can have flimsier stems. And a variety of reasons, they uptake nutrients different when they're submerged. But looks like right below that, keeping aquatic says, does this work for all aquarium plants? What makes an exception? Do crypts do well? So as an exception, I would say like your jungle val, like Vallisneria, some of your plants like that. Crypts, I actually do have a bin of crypts growing that have converted very well. Actually, most of the crypts you buy, unless it's from another hobbyist, will be grown immersed, because it's just so much easier for plant retail, for the plant farms, for whoever, the wholesaler of the plants, they grow them immersed because it's easier. Don't have to deal with algae. But so like your jungle valves and stuff wouldn't really work. And the question below that from Coro Works, do you have lower lighting requirements for immersed as opposed to immersed? I'm going to say yes, because light can travel easier. There's less water blocks out light. So when you are just shining light through air, a lot more of that light gets to the plants. So I use basically like, I've got a bunch of the NiCrew, just like black box LEDs, like $20-$30 a piece. That's what I use. And it works fantastic. So you can get away with a lot cheaper lights.
Mm-hmm. I'll pull up another image that you have.
Yeah, so this image is actually day one of some Ludwigia natans, the Ludwigia Super Red. It's actually grown. I meant to take a picture of it today and send it to Mitch before, but I didn't have time. It has grown significantly. And I just basically took all these plants right here, or pieces that you see, I took from 3 stems and just broke them in pieces and planted them. because they'll grow anywhere as long as you have probably 2 to 3 nodes on a stem. You can lay it horizontal and it'll grow out of those nodes. If you floated a stem plant, like especially Rotala, if you floated at the top of the tank and just leave it for a couple days, you'll start seeing shoots come out of the sides of it coming vertically. And that's kind of the same principle that I used here. But a lot of this had algae on it. I was like, I don't want to throw it away. I really like this plant. I stuck it in a bin last week, and it's already grown a couple inches. So once it transitions, it happens very quick. Looks like
Just let me know if you want another picture. I know you got.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch the chat too for questions, so I can throw them up for you.
Looks like Keeping Aquatics is studying for a Cal final. Those are not fun. I remember those days. Yeah, so Regina Phalange says, do you keep any circulation in those grow out tubs? Not typically, because I want to keep the humidity high as possible. What I'll do is every week or so, sometimes more frequently, I'll open up the lid and check on everything, and that's about as much air exchange as I do. So there's not much airflow or circulation in them. And you might ask, based on that, do you deal with mold? Not typically. I haven't seen much mold, and one reason I think that kind of helps with that, if you've ever built a terrarium or you're familiar with that kind of ecosystem, you may know what springtails are. They're a little detrivore. Basically, they eat mold, dying, decaying matter. And those springtails, they're found in a lot. I mean, you go up and take a scoop of soil from outside, some healthy soil, you'll probably have some springtails in it. You can add some of those, and they will typically take care of that mold for you. So basically, short answer, I don't have much circulation at all. Not much airflow whatsoever. I want to keep humidity as high as possible because that limits the conversion time to submerged growth.
And I will say, in the little container that I used for the Buse, and I am seeing some growth, but I will say I'm not seeing as much humidity as I would like. And I also don't have a light on it, which I'm trying to change that. But I just have it near my aquarium lights. But I did put 4 holes in it, tiny little holes, to just allow for some circulation. I'm not getting as much humidity in there as I would like. So definitely would fewer holes, if any. But it's a small container, and I didn't want to close it up.
I've seen it done both ways. I've seen it where people do holes. I got like I said, I think it's Aquarium Plant Lab is the YouTube channel's name. He basically does a whole business selling plants, and he does it this way. So I just kind of was like, hey, it works for him. Let me try it. He uses soil. Yeah. You can use aqua soil. You can use a sand mixture. If you're doing something like if you see in the store where they buy it, like the rock wool, the pots with rock wool in them, you can simply just do a couple inches of water in the tub, leave them in the rock wool pot, and then over time add fertilizer to the pots. Because with using potting soil, you've got a pretty good buffer, but I'd say about 6 months to a year, you want to add some more nutrients in because you will deplete. It really just depends on how much you're growing in that soil. Yeah. And then John asked, do you occasionally flood the emerged plants so they transition to submerged easier? I haven't done this. That's a good thought.
It's a good thought.
Though. And I might do a little experiment, do 2 tubs. Do two tubs, same plant, flood one, but don't flood the other. I'm interested yeah, if I might do that. But no, I've not heard of anyone doing that, but I kind of want to try it now.
Hey, Darlene, welcome to the chat. And also welcome Big Shrimpin', who has a question. Well, how are you putting lids on tubs, but still getting light to them? Light inside the tub?
The lights. So I have clear lids. And they're as clear as possible. I guess you'd call them opaque if you wanted to be, really specific. But I just set the lights basically on top of them, or I'll either, if you're doing shelves, you can mount the light to the top of the shelves and have it shine down. So I see, like, I get a good bit of light. If you want to pull up any of those pictures of the tubs, Mitch, that would be great. Like, yeah, I took this picture with the lid off and the light still kind of shining down. This is actually Crypt parva, a tissue culture that I wanted to make sure. I wanted to get some more growth out of it before I put it in the tank. And then
What'd
to
that
the
set
left,
you back? $50?
that is one tissue culture.
That's crazy.
So that is what I think I paid.
Aren't they
11,
normally like 10, $15?
I think it was like $11.99.
Yeah, that's good.
That was a Tropica tissue culture, and I probably got 30 plants out of it. But I really want them to grow a bit. Like, I want this whole area to be filled in with crypts before I put it, because crypt parva grows so slow.
Yeah.
And then to the left is Hydrocotyle Japan.
I was about to point that out. Yep.
Hydrocotyle tripartita, I believe. And it's actually, you can see if you look at the top of the screen, I'm pointing at it. Y'all can't see me pointing, but you can see the little baby growths on it. And I love watching. I love plants. I love watching them grow. But so that's kind of how I have it set up. This is a smaller container.
Coral works as a good idea. I was thinking about this too, because I was just looking at one on Amazon yesterday. You could use one of those suction cup submersible lights if you wanted it inside the tub, no humidity issue. That would also generate some heat and probably help with humidity.
Yeah, that's true. One downside is, like people were talking about earlier in the stream, I keep my apartment at about 68, 70. So I kind of struggle when I don't use a heater or keep things warm. So I think that the tubs would grow faster if I had, it was warmer, say 74.
Yeah.
Maybe. But that is a good idea I don't know how much, I've never used those. I don't know how much light they put out. But
yeah, I don't know either. I was looking at them. They were LEDs. It was something that I was thinking about playing around with. Coro also says you should do a time-lapse comparison between DIY tissue cultures and your riparian grow beds. Riparian.
That would riparian.
I don't know words.
Riparian. Yeah, that would be cool. So, and then, that's a good idea. I like the time-lapse idea. Let's see.
John.
Semi-transparent tubs. Yes, they are semi-transparent. I'll send you I may post some pictures on Facebook of the outside of the tubs just so y'all can see. But I went to Walmart and bought like the $7, $6, whatever plastic tubs, storage totes.
And you can get them pretty clear. We have some that are really clear. Not all of them are kind of frosted.
Yeah, I mean, these are like I would say semi-transparent to slightly frosted. And he says I've seen people do this with plastic wrap tops. So I've got a couple 5 gallons and 10 gallons set up to grow plants like this. And I just take plastic wrap and stretch it over the top. Because I like that the tanks have a little extra height for the stem plants, which I really like.
Right. I wanted to add mine that I'm playing around with right now, and I'm just doing something very small scale. I have a little container that watermelon came in, like cut up watermelon from the grocery store. And I put a layer of rocks on the bottom because I felt like for drainage. Made sense to me. And then I put some organic potting soil about halfway up and put that buse in there. And I mean, if that buse reaches the top of that lid, I'll be happy. So, but I mean, it's very clear. You could use stuff like that as well if you wanted to try it out.
Yeah, definitely. And then Keeping Aquatic says crypts seem to go through seasons of not growth, then shoot, then no growth. Not sure why. I have ran into that to some extent, and I also don't know why.
I'm dealing with it now with the 75. It was just a few months ago. The 75 was full of crypts. They were everywhere. They were massive. It was gorgeous. And then they all just slowly melted back. And I've got new growth. I've got a lot of growth, but it's very slow coming. Like it's very slow. And I have read that about the plant because I've been trying to figure out what have I done wrong. I've kept crypts for years without this happening, and all of a sudden it happened. Is it my water? Did I, is it something I changed? Is it the lighting? Is it the duckweed? What is it? I think it's just something with the plant.
Yeah, it could be. Crypts can be finicky, which is kind of strange. I don't think with I don't think I've ever experienced the massive crypt melt that people talk about. I know what
I've seen a
happens,
lot.
but I've never
Yeah.
had like my crypts full blown melt. I've had like 2 leaves on a plant melt after I know
Yeah.
like something was out of whack. But I will say the crypt immersed bin, each plant puts out about 3 leaves a week.
Oh, I need
It's
to I need to do that. I need to pull some of my crypts then and do
I
that.
mean it's
You've seen the crypt stump. I think Zenny's the one that named that the crypt stump in my tank. Um, and that was that was the first when Daddy. I won't call it when Daddy. I know that's wrong. When Deadeye. That was the first one that I bought, and it just suddenly melted back. So,
I agree with John. It's plant personality. That's it.
yep, absolutely.
Crips can be just prima donnas.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but actually, I think I may have sent you a picture of the crypt tub. I don't know if you've got it
Let's
in
see.
the
And
slides.
we are over just a little bit.
Oh,
If
we
it's all right
are.
with everyone, we'll keep going a little bit. Let me put this up.
Oh yeah,
This is not it.
this is not it. But I will take a second to talk. Just kind of shows some of the diversity you can grow
Mhm.
immersed. I've got hydrocotyle or not hydrocotyle, Hygrophilia pinnatophyta. I've got Rotala bonsai in the middle right. I've got Java fern, Anubias nana, and then also Pogostemon helferi, all in one little container that is all growing immersed and is all like I see growth. You can almost see growth daily on some of these plants, which is just very cool. Um, so it's a really easy way if you're like struggling with plants and you've got a lot of algae on some plants, you're like, man, I paid a lot of money for this. I don't want to just throw it out because it has algae on it. Throw it
Mhm.
in a bin like this and see it. You can probably salvage it. And,
Mhm.
you'll have to go through the process of converting it back to, the submerged growth, but you can still save the plant. Because a lot of these in here were all algae ridden, and that's why they're in this bin. I didn't want to throw them away, but I knew I could save them by doing this.
Yeah, and because you're not having to go through the water, you can buy those cheaper lights to do this.
Mm-hmm.
A night my night crew does pretty good anyway or my night crews, but I would imagine growing like this, it would do amazing. And it is gorgeous. Coral Works says it's gorgeous. Keep Keeping says, you sold me on that. I am trying to grow out my crypts. They are okay in the 10 right now, but not the 20. They shrunk to 2 leaves each overnight. Yeah. Now, when they're first transitioning, are these new or is it a tank that's been set up for a while? Because crypts do sometimes. I mean, they are picky. The substrate, the water, the light, everything. Um, you could experience. I mean, maybe the 10 gallons getting some extra light or not getting some extra light that the 20's not seeing. Who knows with crypts? But if they've been there a while, I I know they do go through these seasons of dieback and
Yeah.
regrowth.
Well, and that's one thing that I can't remember who spoke about it, but there's a YouTube video I watched. I think it was Corvus. I think his name is
Corvus Ocean.
Corvus. Yes, he
Mhm.
spoke about it. Plants, we are putting our plants in our aquarium in an unnatural environment where everything is stable constantly, almost to a fault. Plants in the wild go through seasonal changes. And so if you let, like I trim bad leaves off of plants. If you let
Mhm.
everything just run its course naturally, you would almost see those kind of seasons happen in a
Yeah.
way. So it's not the end of the world. I know it sucks when you've been growing something and it dies back a little bit, but that's natural for it in a way, it can't support growth forever. And I will say, I think you were talking about your crypts melting back. One thing I found that they're pretty sensitive to is if you do a water change that's quite a bit too cold. They don't like that. I've seen that in my own experience. That has melted crypts back.
Hold up. I did some cold water changes to get the Corys to breed. And the water comes in where that crypt stump is.
I've had it happen to me. That could be it. I'm talking. So say your tank is. I'm thinking anything greater than like a 5, not maybe 5. You're probably fine, but like 10 degrees or more. Maybe.
It wasn't 10 degrees for sure.
It also depends if you said the water's coming in right there. If you're blasting it with the cold water,
oh yeah,
colder, then that could be it.
Yeah, because I was using the hook, and so I know it was blowing right there because the way it pulls, it sits in the center of the tank, and that's where that crypt was the center of the tank.
I'm not saying I've read it online anecdotally, but I'm saying in my own experience that's happened. I think
it's happened in my experience.
This is another one. All in the front right here is Stargine repens or S repens, a really cool foreground plant. Once again, another one that was covered in this really annoying like Claudophora, I think is the name, algae. Basically, it's a similar species as the Marimo moss balls, which are Marimo algae balls. But that's in the front, and I just kind of dropped them in. This is one that's kind of struggled transitioning, which surprised me. But I'm starting to see some new growth on it. This was when I first set it up. And then back left, I've got some pearlweed, which with that and carpeting plants, I'll literally just drop it on the top layer of the substrate. You don't need to like plant it in because its roots will just get down and grasp. And then back right corner is Althanaria Renekii mini. That's growing well. Some of these plants too, I just did not have room in my tanks, and I was like, I'm not going to get rid of perfectly good plants because I don't know about y'all, but I like to hoard plants and fish. I'm like, it is difficult for me to be like, I have too much of this plant. I need to get rid of some of it. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Zinni says my high grow pin, because I can't say it, I agree with you, is oddly red in my CO2 tank. Who knew plants grew better with the right chemistry and decent lighting?
Yeah. I've seen some of the Pinnatifida get just crazy red. I haven't been able to achieve it myself because one of the issues that I had, like I just mentioned, I hoard plants. I try to cram as many species of a plant into a tank as possible. And sometimes just like fish, all of these different plants come from, different parts of the world, and they don't have the same care requirements. Like your red plants might like lower nitrates than your green plants. But anyways, the Pinnatifida is a beautiful plant, and it can get very red.
Hey, I wanted to say hi to Sketty Nana. I see that you're here. Thanks for joining us. And then
lots of algae aquatics.
Yeah, lots of algae aquatics has been to the ETAA and been at at our swap. So welcome, good to see you. Thank you for the encouragement. There's someone else here. Let me take a look.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Fishmas, guys.
It's Santa Ed.
Hi there, Mitch, and hi there, Tanner.
How are you today, Santa?
You guys? I'm doing great, and I've got lots of wonderful prizes to give out, and I was wondering if I could give out 2 on your guys' show.
I think that'll be great.
That would be fine with me.
Let me pull up a screen for you.
I don't even have a chimney. How do you get in here?
I just pop in.
There it is. I found it.
So, guys, what you been talking about tonight?
Immersed plants.
All right. Immerse?
That's right. All
There
right,
we go.
so
Right.
we'll do this with hashtag FishFam on the first one because we are going to do two. You've got the first one is the Clash tickets.
That's a fun event to go to.
That's what I'm hearing. So I will start collecting. Hashtag
Anna was there
FishFam.
last year.
Chattanooga Santa is what Coro Works says. I love that.
So you must
Santa
be busy
goes
this time
everywhere.
of year, Santa.
Oh my gosh, it sure is. If I could bring both of you boys one fish, what would be your Christmas fish?
I bet the chat knows.
That is
So I can tell you
difficult.
mine. Mine would be those orange Venezuelan Corys. That is my obsession right now.
They are nice.
I think those or probably some of the Epistogramma Borelli.
I knew it.
Those those have been just they've caught my eye.
That's awesome.
Santa, we are trying to get Tanner to the Clash. They have been really on me about going, and I'm going to try this year. I would love to go. We need to make it happen.
It is a lot of fun. You might be able to find some guys to drive up with if you decide to go.
Yes, that would be nice.
Makes it a lot easier. So this is a full weekend pass. We went over it earlier. Actually, I've got a slide. We went over it earlier with everything that it entails. It will be a fun weekend. It's something that Tanner and I have talked about. We would both love to make it. We'll see. Liquid Rock says orange lasers look better than orange Venezuelans. I looked at those. I really like the orange Venezuelans.
I like the orange Venezuelans as well. I think the orange Venezuelans look a little more natural.
Yeah.
Than the lasers. I do love the lasers, though.
They're nice. All right, I pulled that
Santa,
up. There you go.
Santa won this tank at the Clash last year there. That's behind me. Cool. It's an 18-gallon.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And Jennifer Williams escaped that tank. She was the big U.S. winner of all scape-offs this year.
Oh, cool.
How is Santa doing tonight?
Pretty good. I've just been running around in circles. I like how you guys have matching hats and they're very stylish.
Well, it's a look.
Yeah, Mitch provided me with this hat, so
oh wow.
Yeah. That's why we're matching.
Like we got to wear them in December. We got to be festive. We're going to do Fish Fam Christmas. We're going to do it right. As a matter of fact, Tanner doesn't decorate for Christmas. He just did this for the live stream.
Yeah, I did it.
Wow.
I do have my random fish ornaments. Let's see.
Santa, I don't know how long you want to wait on this. We have 25 entries, but we have 42 people here in the stream. 42 people in the stream, only 25 entries. Those are good odds.
Yeah. Maybe it's people are from out of the country or they just have something that weekend and they just don't think that they want to try to win that one. So let's go 30 more seconds and then we'll do it. Now, if you are from outside the country and you win something, you can give it away on your show or you can give it to somebody else in the chat, but you only get to win once for the whole Fishmas season. So you got to play the odds.
Got to play the odds. Oh,
there's Color Guppies. He's an amazing guppy man.
This little guy.
I like
also
that.
got a clownfish, which is stuck to the tree because it's heavy, or I'd show it as well.
All right, there's 28.
It's a very impressive tree.
So I've not been counting. I don't know how close to 30 we are, but we're about to hit this button and see who gets this wonderful trip.
We can do a little countdown. Start at 5,
4,
3,
2.
2, 1.
One. That was fun. Oh boy, look at all those names.
Colored
Color
Guppy.
Colored Guppies. Congratulations.
Well, and he lives very close to there too.
Oh,
awesome.
fantastic.
That's
I
great.
think he's in Delaware or Maryland, somewhere. I have to check my list.
Yeah.
Because Santa has to stop at his house every year.
So I guess he's been nice this year.
Yep. He's always a good boy.
That's awesome. Color Guppies. Hold on. I hit the wrong thing. So how do you do the second one? Because I need to set it up as a different hashtag, right?
I don't know if you need to set it up as a different hashtag. People that just want to enter now could enter, but all the past would still be in it.
Oh. Well,
so it's up to you, however you want to do this. Now, this is a Bucks County fun bag or grab. Everything I say sounds terrible, but sack of fun.
It's a bag of fun. All right, I'm pulling it up, and because I accidentally backed out of it, and we're going to do. If I do hashtag Fish Fam, will it include all the previous ones?
Well, will it say if you do? We could just see if it already has 24 loaded.
Looks like Fish Fam Christmas says yes. Different hashtag.
Different hashtag.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
So we'll do a different hashtag for this one. But congratulations to Color Guppies for winning the last one. That's awesome.
All right. So I've got the next one loaded, but I have to because it closed. Sorry, Santa.
Oh, it's all right. My fireplace is on. I'm going to spin it around so you can see. I don't know, but it is. Well, you can't really see it, but it's like 89 degrees in here. It's crazy.
All right.
I got to remember to not wear that in a beard or have that on in a beard. Santa might be shaving after this one.
Different hashtag. Hashtag different hashtag to enter in to win the prize pack. Cannot be shipped internationally. So
how you guys both have different fish clubs and the same fish club. How was your guys' fish clubs for did the Nashville guys do anything special for Christmas?
We did not, just because it was our third or fourth meeting. So we just had a normal meeting. Actually, John with Select Pets spoke on Swordtails and Platies. So it was a pleasure having him. And, it was a lower turnout than was wanted, but a lot of people had the flu, so that was unfortunate. But we're hopefully hitting the next year strong and really looking forward to it. It's been great so far.
Yeah, I think Santa had bronchitis that weekend.
Oh, that's rough.
That was fun. A drag. Yep.
Yeah. So the East Tennessee Aquatic Association did have a Christmas party instead of a December meeting. And it was actually hosted by one of our local stores, Aquatic Marine. A lot of people have seen it on, they hosted Aquaticon. So a lot of people have seen it online. Kenny invited us out for our party. They provided refreshments and all kinds of stuff. We had giveaways. We had a greedy Santa game where people brought stuff and swapped stuff and all of that instead of our normal table where we share. And there were gift cards given away for the store. And I think there was a discount for that night only on purchases.
Oh, man. Well, and Santa's sleigh was broke down, and I wasn't able to get to that one.
I tried to tell everybody. We had said we weren't going to say what was happening, but it's going to be something not to miss. We tried to tell everybody that. All right, I got 14 entries. Hashtag different hashtag. We've got a few more minutes.
This is for an amazing bag that will have things in it that retails up to $50. I hear there's stickers, towels, shirts, and hats. That was pretty good.
A good time.
Yeah. Now, Bucks County, that's a fish club just like the ones here in Tennessee.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. We'll have to look at getting the local clubs involved next year.
Yeah,
cool.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to working with the East Tennessee and maybe some of the Kentucky clubs on some future things. That would be fantastic. The Nashville club is hoping to really hit the new year really heavy. This year when we started, we were just hoping to kind of get some interest boiling up. But come January, we're full on. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, January, we are going to have a Pistogramma talk by Curtis Cassiano on our January meeting. And that's going to be awesome. And I think, Tanner, I know you know Cassandra. She's going to be doing a talk in February on plants, high-tech plants, I believe. And then March. Can I say March? I'm trying to remember if I can say who's March. I'll wait. No, March is confirmed. It's Rob. Rob Ziegler is going to talk about keeping rare species. He was recently on Pet Tech channel.
Yeah, he's got some incredible fish and species I've never seen before. I hope to make it to Curtis's Pistogramma talk, though. I know January for Music City, I'm actually speaking on plants.
Cool.
Going to do a plant 101 sort of thing, talk about different types and how to keep them. So it should be pretty fun.
Very cool.
All right.
Cassandra's always great too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, Cassandra's great. And we really struggled between letting her do Killies because she's a master at Killies or plants. And we had so many people wanting plants. We were like, well, we got to have plants early in the year. So we asked her, could you do plants for us? Because she's really good with plants too. 17 entries. And we're about 6 minutes till 10. How's Santa feeling?
Doing great. I like your co-op cup.
Not sponsored, but yes. It is a left-handed cup, though. So it's just a green cup if I use the hand that I prefer. That's not true. I drink my coffee with either hand.
Well, I never thought about what side a cup is.
You know, when I made my own cup, I realized it. It was the first time I realized it, and I got to looking at my cups that I have at the house, and I was like, oh, this one's backwards.
Well, he wants everybody else to see what you're drinking.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure there's some method to the madness.
Yep. Oh, always. Yeah. Select Pet says we need to get someone up to Kentucky from Tennessee to speak sometime. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I get you in touch with some people. I have every month booked, but there's a couple for the year, but there's a couple of months that I don't have in stone because we're waiting on Aquashellas and stuff like that to be announced. But I have every month booked so far. And I hope to be able to announce it as soon as Aquashella makes its announcement. I think that's all I'm waiting on.
Well, I'm pretty sure that'll be January 1st.
I hope so.
Where they'll be rolling out a whole new web page and everything, a website for it. So,
oh, awesome.
Yep.
So different hashtag in order to win a Bucks County Aquarium Society swag. This is a sticker, a towel, a shirt, and a hat. And I saw Zen Ginger says they want you to promote to yourself so you keep buying. It's like, oh yeah, I do need to order that. Keeping wants to know if any of us are planning on going to Aquashella next year.
You might see Santa.
Yes, the Santa. Santa will be there. I don't
We'd
know
love
about
to see
Tanner.
you two guys come.
You know, it would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
One of these
Is-
days,
Is it in Florida this year?
that's what's to be announced.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
allowed to
okay.
say too much.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
I could
I
kind of
just
do this. Look at
depending
my
on
snowball.
depending on where it is depends on if I attend. I almost went to it was in Chicago this year, right?
Well,
There were multiples.
we have Chicago, Dallas, and Florida.
Okay, I almost went to the Chicago this year, but just couldn't swing it.
Yeah. This is hilarious.
Totally
Scuba
understand.
Steve-O's Aquatic says, we told my aunt that my uncle's phone was a left-handed phone and she would pick it up and dial with her right hand, then hurry and switch. That's great. I have an aunt like that. Love her. All right, Santa, we've got 3 minutes and we have 17 entries.
Well,
Should we be pushing a button?
yeah, let's just do it.
Let's do it. All right. Last opportunity to get another entry in with hashtag different hashtag. Well, we'll do 5 seconds again. Santa, you want to kick us off?
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
who's it gonna be?
oh boy.
Shelby K.
Oh, Shelby!
Shelby.
Congratulations!
Congratulations,
She did an amazing job on the Rico Stand show just today.
Yeah, I watched some of that. I'm looking forward to catching the replay.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
congratulations, Shelby.
all right, I have instructions for everyone here. Let me pull these up real quick. If you won, you should email fishfamchristmas@gmail.com. The subject line should contain your username and the prize you won. And if it's a physical item to be shipped, make sure you include your mailing address in the body of that email. So congratulations to the winners. And thank you, Santa, for joining us.
Yes,
this has been a lot of
thank
fun.
you.
It was my pleasure, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Well,
Definitely.
I'm glad we went late. What would have happened had we not gone late?
I know we would have missed Santa.
Probably.
Fish Fam Christmas full of surprises.
Well,
All right.
I guess are we going to head out, or should I just head out?
I think we're going to head out. Tanner,
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good?
yeah, I
All
think
right.
we're good. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yep. Merry Christmas, everyone. Congratulations to the winners.
Yes, congratulations, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy your tanks and stay scruffy.